Welcome back to Sugar-Free Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing the Wansview Q6. They call it security camera, or I think on Amazon they call it a pet camera or baby monitor camera, but it's your typical PTV indoor camera. This camera was sent to me for free by Wansview for testing and review, and I told them when they sent it, the review will be open, it will be honest, it will be based on the features that they claim that it has and how it lives up to those features, and it is not biased in any way, and it does not hurt my feelings to say that, because this is sugar-free reviews. We don't sugarcoat any review, no matter how the product is received. It has to live up to what the manufacturer or the retailer claims, and if it does, then it gets a good review. If it does not, then it gets a negative review. So I've had this camera for about 2 weeks now, and it's a good camera. I like the camera. Most of the cameras that I've used in the past have been Tuya, or I think they call it Smart Life. I think now's the app that they use, but the issue I have a lot of times with it is the connectivity of the app. You'll have the whatever device it is you're controlling drops out a lot. Well, with this camera, in the 2 weeks that I've used it, I have not experienced but one time where I was away from my home network and tried to connect to the camera through the app and did not receive any picture. It was only one time, so that's a positive. So let's walk through what their claims are, and I'll switch this over here to our second camera so you can look at it as I talk. Let me turn my light up a little. All right, so they claim that it's 1080p. It is. I didn't find the amount of megapixels, but if I had to guess, I would say it was a 2 megapixel camera. The 1080p is great, and this goes with any of these type cameras. 1080p is great, but if you don't have the megapixels to back it up, it doesn't matter. And 2 megapixels, in my opinion, is just not enough. I wish that all of these types of cameras, could measure up at least with a low end cell phone camera. You would think that, with technology today and how our cell phones have these tiny little cameras that are really good, that they would want to incorporate that into these types into these type of cameras. Excuse me. But apparently they haven't reached that point yet. But still, and I'll show video from it here in a few minutes. But the video is 1080p, and it is sufficient. It's the video that I'll show you. It is from outside, so it doesn't look quite as crisp as it does inside. But the images that I get inside are adequate. I mean, they're, for what it is and the price point, it is it is a good buy. Let's see, they claim that it is a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi camera, and that is true. They also point out that it does not support 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. And one of the misleading things, and I've seen this on several of these cameras descriptions, is they say it does not support 5G. Well, with the 5G cellular, being a popular thing right now, it's kind of confusing. So people order these cameras and think that it will work on 5G, and that's not what it means. It's talking about your Wi-Fi frequency at home. It works off of the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, not the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Now, through their app, through the Wansview app, you can view this away from your home network. So it's not, you don't have to be at home in order to control or to see through the camera. You can be on a cellular network or on a Wi-Fi network somewhere else, and it will connect up to your camera. It says they claim it has two-way audio. This is true. You can hear what's going on from the camera side, and it has. You have to with their app, which is different from some other apps that I've used. With their app, you have to push the a little microphone on your phone in order to speak, which it's not a big deal. It actually ends up being a plus because you don't have the audio doesn't overlap and compete with itself. Now, what my children have told me, because what I'll do is I will have this camera in our living room, and then I will speak. If a lot of times, as kids will do, they'll have their cell phones, but they won't have their cell phones loud enough to hear them. And when I try to get in touch with them, they won't hear it. So I'll look through the camera, and there they are in the living room. So I'll speak through the app and into the camera. And from what they tell me, that the audio that they hear on this camera is much better than some of the other cameras that I have used. So instead of having to repeat myself over and over, they pretty much get it the first time with whatever I try to say to them, which is normally check your phone. They claim that it has pan, tilt, zoom, and night vision, all of which are true with a twist on the zoom. The cameras that I have used and looked at so far, there's only been one camera that actually has an optical zoom, which means the camera itself, the lens inside, has a zoom feature. This camera does not have that. The zoom that they say that it has is as you look at the picture on your phone. Let me see. So we'll do this. So as you might not be able to see it, and it's going to be upside down anyway. Well, anyway, as you look at the picture on your phone, the only zoom is of the image on your phone. So, like if you go to your gallery on your phone and you look at a picture and you want to zoom in, you pinch zoom and it just enlarges the picture. You're not actually getting closer to the picture. There's no actual zooming taking place. It's just enlarging the picture. Well, that's the way this zoom works on this camera and this app. When you pinch zoom, all you're doing is enlarging the image on your phone. You're not literally zooming in, and so that particular claim is only partially true. Yes, you can zoom in the image on your phone, but it's not actually zooming in as far as the camera is concerned. The camera itself does not have the zoom function, but as you'll see from the videos, and I'll go ahead and switch to those, you'll see from the videos it does have pan and tilt, and then I'll show the image from night in just a moment. It does have night vision. They claim that it has smart motion alerts and smart and motion detection. It does have that. It does not have motion tracking, meaning that if it senses motion and the motion is moving, that it follows the motion. It does not have that. It only has the detection. It will detect that there is motion, and if you have your app set up to alert you, then you can be alerted when there is motion. Now here is the night vision. This is the night vision just alone. This is the only light source is from the infrared lights in the camera itself. It's not there's no other source of light right now. Now, as I took this video, one thing that I saw with the night vision is if you pan down too much, the infrared lighting will bounce off of the camera's housing itself, and it will wash out the video. So you can't pan down too much. Now, right here, I was trying to get my floodlight to come on, and you'll see once the floodlight comes on that the quality, the picture sharpens a lot, and it becomes very, very clear. So my recommendation, if you were going to use this in some sort of outside, albeit I would make sure that it is covered if you're going to have it outside, covered very well so that no moisture can get to it at all. I would say use it in conjunction with a floodlight, or in this case, a motion floodlight, so that if it detects motion, then both the floodlight and your camera will come on, so that you get a really good picture. So I'm going to go back to the daytime. The storage, you have two options as far as storage for the camera. They offer cloud storage, which of course you have to pay a monthly premium for, which I never do with any of these cameras. Or you can use an SD card. The SD card, they claim that it will support up to 128 gigabyte SD card. If you're going to use that function, then I would recommend an SD card as opposed to the cloud feature. But it just depends on how you use it. In the way that I use this camera, I don't have any need to put an SD card in it. So you can see the images are clear. They're very good images. It's a good camera. I like the app. The app is intuitive, and I would recommend this camera. Like I said, to me the main feature when it comes to this camera, the main thing that to me sets it apart from uh, other cameras that I have used is that it stays connected. It doesn't, uh, it doesn't drop the signal, and when you open up the app, the camera is available to use. It doesn't, uh, show up as offline, and that has been an issue with uh, other cameras that I have used. So the fact that they're that the camera itself and the app works, consistently is one of the to me it like I said, for the price, uh, this is a really good camera. I would recommend it. I would give it out of 5 stars. I would give it 3.5, if not 4. And the only reason I would give it 3.5 would be because the the zoom feature is not a true zoom. The zoom is only of the image on your phone. So that's a little bit misleading. Um, but to me, it's not a deal breaker. This, in my opinion, this is an indoor camera to be used indoors, and indoors you really shouldn't, unless you have a massive house, which I do not. You really wouldn't need that kind of zoom feature anyway. It does rotate. It's not 360 degrees, but it's close enough. I don't know if you could hear on the nighttime video, but if you're on your app and you are panning the camera around, you can hear the uh, the the noise of the motors inside the camera are very loud, and you can, I don't know if you can see here, but on the bottom right here, yeah, it's hard to see, but right here is where you would insert the SD card. I like how responsive this camera is as far as moving it around, especially through the app and through the app when you're away from home. A lot of times when you're using your app away from home on other ones that I've used, there tends to be a lag between when you push uh, the direction pad and when it actually starts to turn. But with this camera, it's the lag is, if it's there, it's very minimal. So there's our review of the Wansview Q6. I'm going to call it security camera. I would recommend this camera. If you need a camera for indoors, this is a good camera. I'll put a link in the description to the Amazon where you can purchase it off of Amazon. But like I say, it's a 3.5 to 4 stars, and the only reason that I say I lean more towards 4 because of how good the connectivity is as far as the internet is concerned. But the only reason I would say 3.5 would be because of the zoom. It's not a true zoom. But that's really the only negative that I found at all with this camera is and I didn't expect it to have zoom because, like I said, I've tried out several of these cameras. I didn't have time to do reviews on them, but I've tried out several of these, and only one had an actual optical zoom. So, like I said, for this camera, for the price point, it is a good deal. I do recommend it. Hopefully, Wansview will be sending me some additional products to test, and we'll be able to review those, and hopefully they will live up to the claims, just as this Q6 camera has. Hope this review has been a help to you, and I hope that you subscribe and click the little bell beside the subscribe so you can be notified when we post a new review. And hope to have something else to review soon. Thank you.